What's going on, world? It is I, Timmésha, Miss Burgess, if you're nasty. Of course, y'all know I only say Miss Burgess if you're nasty because I'm a certified sexuality educator. I combine sexuality education and I bridge that with personal development and mental health. I educate on sexuality as it relates to developing yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Let me just clarify. I don't teach sex, okay? I am not a sex therapist. I am not a sex counselor. There are folks out there that can do that. I can probably recommend some folks to you, but that is not my forte. That is not my path. That is not my journey. Sex and sexuality are categorically different. I teach sexuality as it relates to your spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional well-being, evolution, and growth. Just to clarify, when I say Miss Burgess, if you're nasty, it's just a play on words, okay? I am the creator of Alchemity because turning pain into power is sexy. And this is where we learn the art and the science of alchemy, turning pain into power, turning lead to gold, being able to turn our painful experiences into something that empowers and motivates not just ourselves, but others in our orbit. Alchemy. Alchemity. All right. We are colony here, and I am the queen bee, Miss Burgess. All right. Just to clarify some things. Listen, y'all. If you listen to my last two uploads breaking down the 7 characteristics of what the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, breaking down what the DSM describes as symptoms of anxiety, we are on number 3 this week. So the first week was number 1, which was restlessness or feeling keyed up or on edge. And I define what the activated meaning of that is when you are on a spiritual journey. It's not enough just to read something, just the outer ideologies of what psychologists or clinicians or therapists say anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts are. I am explaining what these symptoms are from a spiritual perspective. I'm explaining what these are, even from a metaphorical perspective. For those of you who are on the journey of turning your pain into power, for those of you who know you are the 144 activated chosen ones, you have a very specific and particular mission on this planet, not to be toyed with, not to be played with. You are here to shift paradigms and destinies and dimensions. You are here to essentially save the world, okay? And by saving the world, meaning saving yourself, and that power flows outwardly. But you specifically are on a journey where you are under serious attacks from people, places, and things, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And you need to know what these symptoms are outside of what the traditional clinical approaches would tell you. You need to know what the symptoms of anxiety are as a spiritual person, as a person who has been born with certain abilities, gifts, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudient, empaths, psychics, whatever you want to call it. These things that would have people calling you witches, or you have the type of skills or gifts that people would call demonic or evil, stuff that you probably would have been burned and hung for during the Salem witch hunts, right? These are your gifts. These are your abilities. And on this journey of turning your pain into power, you should be using these gifts, skills, and abilities to not just uplift yourself, but the world around you, people, places, and things in your orbit. That is your job as an activated 144 chosen one. That is what you're supposed to be doing with your spiritual gifts. And there are people out there who are doing the opposite, and what their consequences and karma are not our concern. So let's get on with it. It's time that you know if you are experiencing extreme levels of anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Okay? If you're listening here on Alchemity, if you're subscribed here on Alchemity, then you have spiritual gifts and abilities. And if you have not activated or come online with your spiritual gifts and abilities, you're suffering from extreme levels of what people say these mental disorders are or do. You are suffering. And it's because you haven't fully brought your gifts and powers online to help yourself and to help others, and therefore you're suffering, right? You're suffering these side effects, because that's what they are. They are the side effects. So let's break them down, what these side effects are and what you should be doing in order to activate your power, your spiritual abilities. Okay. So we went through number one, again, which was restlessness or feeling keyed up or on edge. Number two, being easily fatigued. All right. And here's number three, difficulty concentrating or mind going blank. Now, again, I'm reading excerpts from my book, Activate, Unorthodox Philosophies that Explore Anxiety, Depression, and Suicidal Thoughts as Symptoms of Suppressed Superpower. You can get your copy of Activate on Amazon in paperback or ebook, or you can order it directly from me if you'd like me to inscribe and sign it for you and send it to you myself with my energy and all that good stuff on that copy for you. You can do that through my website, TimméshaBurgess.com. So let's get into this excerpt. I'm going to read it to you. And again, this is number 3 out of 7, difficulty concentrating or mind going blank. It's going to give you exactly what this means for you on your spiritual journey, what this means for you as a chosen one, what this means for you as a person born with spiritual abilities, and what you are to do about it. Okay. Again, number 3, difficulty concentrating or mind going blank. Again, these are the 7 characteristics listed in the DSM, again, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. But how I describe them and break them down are my own activated version of what it really means for those of you on the spiritual journey. I got to keep saying that because I want to make sure that you all understand, and overstand. Let's go. Number 3. So the activated philosophy says, and this is page 211 in my book, if your mind goes blank often, well, congratulations. This means you have already accomplished the goal that all monks, the highly enlightened, and meditation gurus have been trying to reach and teach for centuries, the art of quieting the mind. Ha! Seriously, think about it. We've all heard of that day-old saying from meditation experts on quieting the mind, right? Well, if the mind is blank, didn't you achieve a point of galactical alignment? It's unfortunate that it's okay to accept a blank mind from peace experts, but vilify it in our day-to-day. Sure, this concept may seem wacky, but why not run with it if it works for you? So what if the path to achieving a clear mind is wrapped in what is called anxiety? However, we've established early on what is called anxiety is suppressed superpower rumbling to be unleashed. Capitalize off this new information about what it means for your mind to go blank by using the times your mind decides to take a hiatus to go within. Why not use your moments of going blank to achieve what masters have been trying to achieve since the dawn of time? On my journey through the darkness of my mental health, I found that when my mind would go blank, it was an indication that something else wanted to speak from the shadows. A blank mind gives space for new ideas to rise up. So don't fight it. Now, if you happen to be in a conversation and your mind goes blank, and it may also be, say that again. Now, if you happen to be in a conversation and your mind goes blank, it may also be an indication of channeling that wants to come through, and your brain must shut off for your inner mind to speak up. On the other hand, it may also be what was about, On the other hand, y'all, I need to put my glasses on. It may also be that what was about to be said wasn't meant to be said at that time or place. Allow the space in your mind to be there without trying to find a specific thought to grab hold of, simply because someone taught you to be afraid of void. Going blank when channeling. If you're reading this book, then you already have some awareness of what channeling is and means. If not, then here's a quick definition. Channeling is the act of translating messages from another consciousness. In the spiritual field, this usually means translating messages from beings that exist outside of the 3D reality. A channel is a person who has the ability to channel these beings. Their words are often taken as the ultimate truth because they are coming from higher dimensions. But most people don't understand they have their own perspectives and therefore limitations of perspective as well. This quote is by Till Swain, international speaker and best-selling author. On the journey, you realize that a side effect to being able to interpret messages from the divine source, whether you call it God, universe, ancestors, angels, spirit guides, or other, is your mind going blank. Divine source, according to this written work, is the integration of higher and lower realms together as one. When the marriage of God and devil, light and dark, higher and lower, happens within you, your power to channel heightens. Here's an example. You're in meditation, singing, dancing, skating, etc., and all of a sudden a thought or vision occurs that's so profound that you forget that you were even in the middle of a meditative activity at all. Have you ever had an idea come to you in the middle of a conversation and you forgot what you were talking about? This is it. This is when the idea of the blank mind is at its finest and the most ripe time to hone in on what is rising through the blankness or removal of the initial thought. We call it going blank because the initial thought is removed. But what we have not been taught to hone in on is the new thought coming through. Even if you have to tell the person you were speaking with to hold for 1 sec while you jot down a quick note, if they are your like-minded tribe, they'll surely understand, understand, and overstand. That is the activated spiritual philosophy and version of the symptom of anxiety called when your mind goes blank. This is how you turn your pain into power. Understanding, overstanding, and understanding these spiritual philosophies is what helps you awaken and wake up to not only who you are, but what you are. It helps you to capitalize off of these things that were initially considered to be bad or negative or abnormal. How do you make something considered bad, negative, or abnormal work for you? This is how. And this isn't some abracadabra hocus pocus type of stuff. This is the real deal. Everything is about perspective. And all you need is a shift in your perspective so that you can turn what seemingly is painful for you into something that empowers you. I hope this makes sense to you all. It isn't enough to just know the definition or characteristics of what anxiety looks like. But once you know it, break it down for yourself. What is this symptom actually, and where is it coming from? And what do I do about it? How do I understand it so that I can make it work for me? So that I can make it work for my benefit. And this is one of those things. This is that definition. So anyway, I hope this speaks to you all. If you're subscribed here on our community, because turning pain into power is sexy, thank you for being here. If you're not, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like and share this video. Also, comment in the description section. I'd like to hear from y'all. I'd like for you guys to talk back. I like this to be conversational. So go ahead and make your comments in the comment section. Any information you'd like on connecting with me, you can get that in the description box below. Okay. Make sure you get your merch. Fear of Feminine Power is a mental disorder. You can get all of that information on my website, timmeshaburgess.com. And I will speak with y'all in the next cast. Ciao for now. Mwah.